Hi, I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs for Parkland College. I'm your new host of the Parkland Report, and I hope you'll join me this season as we talk to some of the familiar faces around the college about what's new and what you need to know here at Parkland College. Welcome to today's edition of the Parkland Report. I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs here at Parkland College. And today I am joined by two of our Vice Presidents. And first up is Vice President Mike Trame of Student Services.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's always great to talk.
So tell me a little bit about Student Services. That's a huge umbrella of things here at the college. So, and you've got a large team.
Right.
Tell me about your work.
Yeah, it is a really broad cross-section of the college. So we have everything that under that umbrella, from our public safety and police department all the way through financial aid and veteran services to counseling and advising and accessibility services and everything in between. So yeah, if it's not an academic teaching unit and it's not our Center for Academic Success, it likely falls under our area in terms of what students utilize on an everyday regular service kind of piece.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I'll just ask the enrollment question right out of the
Sure.
gate, because we're doing a lot of really exciting things to support students who want to come to Parkland and to market toward them. So tell me a little bit about what's happening with what we call enrollment management.
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, our enrollment management efforts are led by Kristen Smigelski, our Dean of Enrollment Management. She's new to the campus and has brought a wealth of information and knowledge from her days at the university across town, and she has really partnered with marketing to help tell the story of Parkland, help tell what makes Parkland special. And that really is all the marketing we feel like we need, because it has such an impact in our community and provides such opportunity for our students that effectively telling that message is really what enrollment is for Parkland, and providing opportunities for folks to improve their lives, to better their education, and that really is what we're working on. Been great efforts with marketing to try to tell that story in a much more up-to-date and current way, using modalities that the students want to be reached at, whether that's social media or text. We'll be updating all of our email campaigns to really have a new, fresh look, and we think that the students will appreciate that piece.
You know, we really benefit from being very well known in the community. So within District 505, high level of awareness.
Yeah.
We have so many students that are accessing us while in high school, but then the sort of marketing they're being inundated with on almost a daily basis from 4 years as well. So there's just a lot to consider if you're a prospective student.
Yeah, more and more higher ed institutions are getting into the market of telling that story and what they have to offer. There's greater competition in the higher ed market than ever before. We really stand on the quality of our product and our fantastic faculty that are so well regarded in their teaching capabilities and the programs that they've built with high level technology and the latest in terms of information and materials that they're disseminating. And so we stand behind that, and we first and foremost want to showcase that from an enrollment side of things. And I think that's exciting to tell all of those stories about what our faculty are doing in the classroom. That pulls students from not only District 505, but it makes the students from around the state want to come to Parkland, because we have special programs that others don't have. We create opportunities for them in the job market that they wouldn't otherwise have if they didn't come to Parkland. And so I think that's the kinds of stories we're trying to tell right now.
Yeah, well, we're a little biased, and we think we're pretty special. But I think we truly are. And you mentioned Dean Smigelski, and there are some more new faces on your team in this past few months. And so tell me a little bit about the new members of the Student Services division, really. It's
been an exciting transition time. We've gone through some structural change, but at the same time some people change, and brought in some great new leadership. Julia Hawthorne has taken over our TRIO program, a federal program that serves first generation and low SES students, and provides resources and opportunities with which to get ahead and be successful in the higher ed pursuits that they're doing. And so she has brought a wealth of new ideas and structure to that place, and we're super excited about the things she's doing. We have a new director of athletics. Brendan McHale has taken over for longtime AD Rod Lovett, and boy, he is really adding some new structure to the athletic department while maintaining the exceptional quality that they've had going. It's been another great year in Cobra Athletics and continues to be so. Baseball and softball are both nationally ranked coming into the spring here, so get a chance to come out and see one of their games if you can. They do a fantastic job on the field. We just got done with another basketball campaign that saw both teams ranked over the course of the season, and seems like old hat, but a volleyball season that had another national runner-up in the Parkland volleyball team. So athletics is churning out excellence.
If you want to see winning teams, come and watch our players play and do what they do on the field or on the court, because we have really incredible teams. And those students go on to amazing things.
Yeah, and go on to amazing things academically too. And what doesn't get touted enough is not only are those student athletes so successful in their athletic pursuits, but they're fantastic in the classroom too. Our fall GPA was off the charts good, above a 3.0 for the entire athletic department, and several academic All-Americans in that group, and 4.0 GPAs were exceedingly high. And so those student athletes are achieving excellence not only on the field, but the thing we're most proud of is their pursuits in the classroom. So great times in Cobra Athletics, and we also have a new director of student life, so you're seeing a lot of new things come out of that area. Tracy Klaparski has joined us to lead that operation, and that, remember, includes things like the student wellness initiatives that we have on campus, all of our clubs and organizations and student programming, our prospectus. But the new piece we're kind of showcasing right now is our Leadership Academy. And so she's getting that running with Dean Marietta Turner, our Dean of Students. They're partnering to launch this new initiative that we're very excited about.
So what is the Student Leadership Academy? How does that work, and how do students participate?
Yeah, great question. There are a couple different tracks in it that house students from different areas. Either it's students who want to pursue leadership because they're leaders in a club or organization or in a program on campus. It's students that want to develop leadership skills for their job or career purposes, or it's students that are coming up and want to see how leadership affects from a social and aspect and with causes in the community. And so we're trying to foster leadership in all three of those areas. Students join the program, they'll take programming related to leadership and earn what we're kind of calling credits with that regards for doing different leadership projects and initiatives, and then eventually work towards a leadership certificate. And there are also some scholarships attached to that leadership program. It's just a phenomenal idea that Dean Turner has been hatching for a while, and then our new director Tracy has come in to really help her hatch that idea and bring it to fruition. So
that leadership certificate, one of the things we hear most frequently from employers is really about the soft skills and leadership capabilities. So what better resume item than to add a leadership certificate to your resume to help set you apart down the road, whether you're going right into the workforce or you're transferring.
Right. Yeah, and so often we hear that students going on to transfer are having to give leadership pieces to their institutions that they want to get into, and they're asking about those things. Those are the difference makers in those transfer applications. And then the employers are constantly talking about what sets our students apart, and it's those skills. And now we have a way of credentialing that and defining that to those employers and saying, this student is special. Take a look, give them a chance in your work environment. They bring something of an added benefit to your employee group.
So, Mike, this time of year, the weather's getting a little bit warmer. It's a little bit warmer today. It's a little bit warmer in the studio today. Finally. And so we're starting to think about commencement.
Yes.
And this is the best time of year for me.
Exactly. The most exciting time in student services for sure. It's where we gear up to all of our end of the year events. And it starts off with scholarship reception. We've had such a push for scholarships on campus the last couple of years, and we're giving out well over 450 scholarships a year to help students afford college. And so we have a reception that kind of kicks off our end of the year events to celebrate all those students and donors who give and help our students be successful in the classroom from a financial standpoint. Then we move into honors convocation, where we celebrate the best and brightest that Parkland has to offer and all those students that have really achieved in the classroom. And then into the commencement ceremony, which is the crown jewel of our academic year, and we celebrate all the accomplishments of all those District 505 and out-of-district students who have chosen Parkland and made it their own, and are now stepping out into their next pursuits with a Parkland credential behind their name, and that's something that they'll never can be taken away from them, and that they should be very proud of.
If you've never attended Parkland Commencement, it is a beautiful ceremony. Yeah. It's at the Krannert Center for the Performing Arts in the Great Hall, a great venue, but then also the stories of the students, just seeing their faces kind of walk across that stage, and the sheer joy that is emanating from them is just incredible. And
the families that are there to celebrate that with them, and what this education means to a lot of those families, and what the jobs that their parent or their spouse will now have and be able to get as a result of that degree. And so it's an exciting time. We'll have stories told by a speaker. We've got Seth Fine, who's going to be doing our commencement speech, so a community figure that is very well known, and we're very excited about his remarks. And we'll showcase some distinguished alumna in the group, and we'll present an honorary degree this year. And those are very exciting pieces, both to longstanding members of our community. And then we showcase a student with a student speech, and that is always one of the highlights of the ceremony, where a student talks about their journey through Parkland and their journey to this educational pursuit, and it really epitomizes what those other 400 students out in the crowd have gone through to get to that special night. And so, yeah, what a great showcase of everything Parkland stands for and what we have to offer.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
Well, thank you for having us. I enjoy the opportunity to share student services. We're very proud of that division, and you guys give us an opportunity to share some of that with the folks in our community.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Vice President of Academic Services, Dr. Pam Lau.
I was familiar with the department. I've been there, like I said, I've been there 2 years. But I definitely got more involved doing the work experience class.
You definitely want to take this class to get some hands-on experience, because if you have no idea what the service is like going into it, this class will give you like a upfront experience, and you get to see personally what goes on in the department on day to day.
So when I went there, I was allowed to go along on the calls and see what a firefighter did throughout his day, which included at the fire station, on the calls, on the rig. There was a lot of cleaning, but also a lot of responding to emergencies.
If it was a new guy or a new student that has maybe little experience in the fire service, I would tell them definitely look into Work Experience 110, FST 110, and go get with a big city department like Champaign or Urbana. It's right here next to the college, and this class really allows you to get your feet wet.
Upfront experience, and you get to see personally what goes on in the department on day to day, because it's not just running calls every day, it's doing stuff around the department, making sure everything's good to go for when that call comes in. So like practicing putting on your gear, putting on an air pack, studying inventory on trucks, knowing what the tools are, how to use them. Doing repetition helps make things go faster.
I really feel like this program has helped a lot. Throughout the course, we've gone over a lot of training and talked about how being prepared is the most important part. And being able to go through the work experience class, I got to see that in a fire station, the training isn't just, we're going to go grab equipment, look at it. You're going through real scenarios that may happen.
The biggest thing for me is giving back to the community, especially at home. Being there when someone's in need, or when someone that you know or is your best friend, or they need your help, you're there to help them, and that's always really rewarding.
The thing that makes me like being a firefighter is whenever I was at Corn Belt and we had our open house and the community came in and like they were there with their family and children, and seeing how happy they were and stuff, and it just came up to my head, and I was like, man, I'm grateful to be in this community and help look out for these people.
I would definitely say take this class. A lot of people think that it could be useful just to say, oh, this isn't what I think it is, I don't want to do this. But also, if you do want to do this, it can really cement that for you.
We're back from break, and I'm joined by Dr. Pam Lau, our Vice President for Academic Services here at Parkland College. Welcome to the show, Pam.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
So you're the Vice President of Academic Services, and this is all of the academic units within the college.
Yes.
It's kind of a big deal. But tell me about all that's included? What are all of the divisions that we have included in academic services?
Well, we have 4 divisions. And if I go alphabetically, right, we have the Division of Arts and Sciences, and that encompasses what we call all of our courses and programs, well, most of the courses and programs that help students transfer. The whole sense of start here, go there, you do your first 2 years at Parkland, get an associate's, and then transfer to a 4-year school. And so a lot of our students that come through Arts and Sciences go on to the University of Illinois, among other schools, and we are actually the strongest transfer partner for the university. So our credits are all transferable there. Then the next division, Career and Technical Education. There are some transfer courses in career and technical education, but they also encompass a lot of what we call career courses, career programs that prepare students to go and enter into the workplace. So from automotive technology to precision ag to network administration, it takes the gamut of all of that. And then health professions. Our health professions are very well known in the region because we supply a lot of the skilled workers that work in hospitals and clinics. And so everybody knows nursing, but on top of nursing, we have dental hygiene, we have x-ray technology, we have respiratory technology, we have surgical technology, all aspects of healthcare. We have about 13 programs that prepare students to go out into the healthcare world. And then our 4th division is called Learning Support, and we think of this as a kind of supporting both faculty and students. That students, as they are learning, you need some extra help. We have our Center for Academic Success, and I heard that they're going to come and talk on another Parkland report.
Yes, our next episode.
Right, so then you're going to hear a lot about them. We also have support for faculty, because faculty need to learn the newest in technology. They need to sharpen their tools of how they actually convey information to the students. So we provide professional development for faculty and staff also. And then we have the library. Library helps everyone. And it's often that the crossroads of information that the library helps sort out for us. And so they are supportive units. So that makes up academic services. Oh, and one more actually that I forgot. Within career and technical education, we also have adult education. This will be a program that will prepare students who to help them bridge into our academic programs. Some of the students need English as a second language help. Some of the students need to complete their GED before they come over to the academic side, and that's also part of academic services.
That's a lot of coverage and a lot of different programs that we offer to our students.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about our Parkland faculty, because I think that they're really at the core of the quality that we offer here at Parkland. So tell me about the faculty sort of in general, kind of where do they come from and how are they adding value to students in the classroom here at a community college versus perhaps a 4-year university?
So our faculty are very carefully chosen because we are a community college and our focus is all on teaching and learning in the classroom. So that's sort of the most important part of choosing a faculty member. Do you have the expertise to teach your content? Are you committed to teaching? That is the most important thing. Many of our faculty come from large universities where they have a lot of research background, and that's all good. But the focus here is on teaching. So they teach a lot and always iron sharpens iron, and together they work together with each other to actually improve how they deliver content. Our transfer faculty have the credentials to teach courses that transfer seamlessly to 4-year schools. Our career faculty are always in line with what does industry want? What are the credentials that are needed so that the relevance to the workplace is always there. They're always going out, what am I teaching here? What's good out there? What is needed out there? So that we can actually adequately prepare students. So two aspects of what we do. Our classes are small. Average 24, no more than 30 in a classroom, except we have a few big sections for some of the very popular general education classes, but most of our classes are small, taught directly by faculty who are very interested in student success.
Oh, that's wonderful. So one of the things I've observed about your role here at the college, and just something that you're very skillful at, is really this engagement on the sort of statewide or national level on so the role of community colleges and the things that we offer. And on the last edition of this show, we talked with Nancy Sutton, and she was telling us about the general education core curriculum and the certificate that we can offer. But you were in many ways a shepherd of ensuring that students had access to a certificate to protect their gen ed credits. So tell me a little bit about that process and what it means for Parkland and community colleges.
Well, I'm sort of a latecomer into the history of Parkland in this. So probably to repeat some things that Dr. Sutton had mentioned previously. So when students come to us and they are wanting to transfer to a four-year school, they take what is called the IAI Gen Ed package. That this is a package of classes that all students who get a bachelor's degree must take. So we've always had the reputation of having quality classes, education to prepare students to complete the Gen Ed package. And then the students leave because they're ready to go. We would love it if they finish the associates before they go, but many times they leave before because they finished the Gen Ed package. But when they leave, they don't have a credential with them because it's on the transcript, but you don't have a piece of paper that says you finished it. So I would say about 10 years ago, when Dr. Ramage was Chief Academic Officer, he started the conversation at the state level. We need to have some kind of credential that acknowledges the completion of this package. And then after him, Dr. Chris Young was Chief Academic Officer, and she continued that conversation. So then when I came in 2015 and I had to attend state level meetings, I brought it up in the conversation. So where are we at? And so by gentle nudging over a decade, often initiated by Parkland, we are very happy that we are now at a point that we are officially given the authority to grant this as a certificate of completion. And I think that's very good for our students to know that they have this ending point.
Yeah, having that legal protection over the courses that you've completed and all of the work that you've done is a really big deal as students, because we know more and more they're starting and stopping because of just aspects of life, having to work, having families, and juggling a lot of different facets of that. Something else I wanted to touch on that is a larger kind of national and statewide conversation right now is around apprenticeships. And we see the need for it locally, certainly from our employers and our students, but there's sort of a movement afoot of toward apprenticeships, and perhaps in industries that have not always had apprentices. So what is Parkland doing around apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeship programs that's new and exciting?
Well, apprenticeships, another name for that would be the earn and learn model. You're working and earning money at the same time you're going to school. So for a decade now, at least, we've had what we call the Ford Asset program, where students are learning automotive technology to work in Ford dealerships. And so our students enter this program. They have to have a sponsoring dealership in order to enter the program. They study with us for 8 weeks each semester, and they go and spend 8 weeks at the dealership. So at the end of 2 years, you've finished, you've got an associate's degree, you've got a job waiting for you. It benefits the students, it benefits us, we get students, but it also benefits the employer because they know in 2 years they will have a skilled employee who has been with them through the 2 years, but has gained all the skills that are needed to do that job well. So we've done that, and then you have the national conversations that are kind of gearing up to bring this to a higher scale. So we're looking at different opportunities. We are now working with manufacturing plants to actually have another kind of apprenticeship program where the model is that the manufacturer employs a student. The student works 3 days a week and comes to us to study 2 days a week. It is our industrial technology curriculum that we package so that the student can work and study at the same time. And we're going to stretch it over 3 years so that we don't overwork the student, but the student gets support. And again, the manufacturer that sponsors the student through this apprenticeship gets a guaranteed skilled worker at the end of 2 years, but is also working with the student along the way so that you can see the progress of the student. So we're excited, and we're hoping that we can launch this in the fall.
That's a really exciting program. And thinking about the responsiveness that we can offer to employers in cases like manufacturing, that this could be replicated across other industries.
Right, yes. I think that there are several, there are always like different, can I say, irons in the fire. So we have now going through our state level approvals, a new degree program called the Advanced Applicator Technician. This is from our Precision Ag program, working in conjunction with some of the big precision ag companies in the area. And the curriculum has been developed along with a lot of input from industry. So again, this will be shaped so that it can be a student that goes through, but it can be somebody who is an incumbent employee come in to take classes with us so that they improve their skill in the workplace.
So one area where we have a lot of employer relationships and is in high demand here at Parkland is our health professions programs, and you've shared a little bit about those. But what's new in health professions? What are some of the new initiatives or new projects that students are working on?
A lot of different things going on, but one of the ones that we are excited about is actually a new project to help students who are not native speakers of English to get enough English to actually perform well on the clinical floor. We've tried different ways of helping students acquire the English that they need, because it's hard when you are, especially for new immigrants, right? You've grown up in a different culture, you speak a different language, and now you want to work in the healthcare field and you've got all the theoretical knowledge, but it's often hard to know exactly what you say to an American patient. How do you do the small talk? How do you speak so that the patient understands what you're going to do to them, explain processes, and also to communicate with the nurses and the doctors, right? So we have a special project going on where students who are interested, they're not native speakers of English, they want to get into the health professions, and we're starting at what we call the Certified Nursing Assistant Program, that they will be in an ESL class for 1 semester, and the ESL focus is not on how do you order a hamburger at McDonald's, but the focus is on all the kinds of English that you actually need when you're working with patients. And you're trying to take their vitals, you're trying to help them do exercises when they need to stretch themselves, right? That they're practicing that. And then the semester after, they will enter the CNA program, but they will continue the ESL class. And again, that ESL class is very tuned into how are they speaking when they are on site, in the lab, in clinicals, at the facilities, and then coming back to brush up. That didn't go so well, how do you improve that? And we're excited that that is actually a much better way to prepare our students. And it's not just preparing our students to go into the workforce, we also recognize that our community is getting more and more diverse. And it's important that our healthcare providers reflect the diversity of the people who need healthcare. And so it's kind of a mutual thing. We're preparing students and we're serving our community.
No, that's wonderful. Yeah. And one thing that I keep hearing sort of as we've had this conversation and we're exploring all of the different areas of academic services is really that willingness to be a little flexible and to respond. And so that's just really encouraging to see how we're doing that here at Parkland to meet the community needs that you're talking about.
Yes, that's the real exciting thing, that we have a group of faculty, our faculty body, always thinking, how can we do it better? How can we do it differently? Always students at the center of it. We want the students to succeed, and we want to prepare them well for their next step, because Parkland is always the gateway to that next opportunity.
What better note to end on? Dr. Lau, thank you very much for joining me today.
Oh, you're welcome.
And that's it for this edition of the Parkland Report, and we'll see you next time.